Perfect. Yeah, I'm very, very grateful that you do it at all, because like the same with Austria, when you had some time before the warm up, I mean, when the whole KTM shit was going down, I really appreciate it, even if it's just a short time between the races.
No worries.
I mean, for everybody, we are at Rocco's Ranch right now for the Christmas TT, and we plan to do it tomorrow, but you had to go tomorrow back to Andorra?
Yeah.
Okay. So and the race is delayed, and we we are like on the worst podcast setup in the history,
most, redneck setup ever.
Well, we are putting the bad into BadMotoGP-Podcast. There you go. So how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Unfortunately, we got delayed race, but looks like it should be restarting again soon.
The weather has been great the last couple of hours. Even the sun came out.
Yeah, we've been lucky. So looks like the track is going to be really good. So it should be a good event.
And is it the same as last year, or did it
different track?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because have you ridden this layout?
Nope. No. I haven't done one lap. Haven't even walked it. So.
Okay. So it's just let's go. So talk a little bit about the motorcycle that you showed us a couple of
minutes ago. So I mean, it's not mine. It's Dakota's, and it's an XR100 from '98. We actually built it 2 years ago for the race, but we had my bike last year, which was a little bit faster, but unfortunately blew up. But so we're back to that bike. We managed to get a little bit more power out of it now. We got a bit more experience, and we're just kind of here to have a good time and enjoy the weekend, to be honest.
What exactly did you do on the bike?
We worked the engine a little bit. It's got a 120 big bore kit, a few things in the airbox and exhaust, and just a few little tricks here and there, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, so you said that the engine might blow up as well. So.
No. This engine will be fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mine, yeah.
Okay, sorry. But was it last year during the race that it blew
up? No. It lasted the race last year. We actually had a chain problem. We used a smaller chain. It was stretching, and it came loose and came off. But
I had it on my motorcycle as well when the chain got used up.
Yeah.
And it slipped a little bit.
Unfortunately, that happened. But no, this year we won't have that problem.
Oh, okay, perfect. So it's just for fun at Rocco's. You do this every year?
Yeah, pretty much. Do it every year. More years we take it. There's years that we take it more serious than others. This year's kind of just to enjoy ourselves. Obviously, we're going to try our best, but looking forward to the party after more than anything.
Yeah, so stay away from elation the last corner.
No, we don't want any fights out there in the track. So.
I saw the video last year. Maybe explain a little bit what happened.
Oh, yeah, I think I was trying to beat him to the finish line, and I mean, my bike was a bit quicker, so I was just trying to get that last bit over the line, and the line was kind of in the braking area, so I just held it full gas over the line, and I didn't have any space to brake and stop before the barriers, and I smashed into the barriers, but I didn't beat him. But
you didn't?
No, I didn't. But I gave a good spectacular.
Yeah, you didn't injure yourself. So
no, exactly. That's the most important.
Fun. And you just came back from testing in Jerez. It was a bit raining, but you still got some laps in on the Yamaha.
Yeah. It was wet the whole time, unfortunately, but we managed to get 2 days of wet riding, and it was good just to kind of get used to the bike and know the team, and I enjoyed myself. Honestly, the bike's really fun and easy to ride, and the team is super nice, and just kind of felt really welcomed at home, which was nice. And we were quite fast in the end, which is good.
I mean, the obvious question: where's the difference from the Superbike to the MotoGP bike?
More in electronics. There's a bit less, and the tires are really different as well. They're Pirellis, but. And power, not as fast, but they're just easy to ride, much easier to ride, especially from what I've been riding. I mean, the Yamaha is notorious for being rookie-friendly in MotoGP, and I assume that it's similar in Superbike. We hope so.
I get annoyed when people are like, those are stock bikes, because there aren't stock bikes at all.
There's nothing stock on it.
Everything basically is like the same with MotoGP. I feel like with a smaller budget and different tires and different electronics.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, the electronics are still Magneti Marelli. They're just, I think, less open than MotoGP. But they're good. They work fine. But I prefer them.
Yeah, which the electronics are a very fascinating subject to me, because I have no idea what you do on a MotoGP bike, and everybody's like electronics. And I assume with even the winglets, it's more difficult now to set everything up.
Yeah, it's difficult to set everything up. I feel like nowadays, especially with the KTM system, sorry, you had to ride the bike to make the electronics happy. It wasn't ride the bike and then put the electronics around what you need. It was like you ride and make sure the bike is happy, and that's how you go fast, which was kind of crappy. I didn't like it.
Okay. So what exactly do you set up in the electronics department?
So like the amount of spin it gives, the amount of anti-wheelie, that reshapes also the throttle before corners. There's a point where you find this magic angle, they call it, where you like pick up the bike and you find a specific angle. At that angle, the bike gives you power, because that angle it thinks it's not going to spin or anything. It's kind of, it's not easy to ride. You got to be thinking about more what you're doing than actually just ride the bike fast.
And the ride height devices made it
as well. That's another thing. Yeah, you got to activate that at the right time on the exit of a corner, and it's a bit. There's a lot going on.
My opinion on the whole ride height devices and winglet discussion is to flex off the winglet, because I mean, they have a performance benefit, but I feel like it's getting more like Formula One, where you don't have close racing anymore. The tires are overheating. And the same with the ride height devices. You can brake later. The front tire is overheating. And from a fan perspective, I would like to ban all of those.
As a rider as well. Me personally, I would like to take off ride height, wings, even electronics. Get rid of it.
I mean, like traction control?
Get rid of it.
Completely.
Yeah.
So not? Back to the 500 days.
Yeah. I mean, we're professional riders. It's what we're paid to do. We should be riding the most savage motorcycles in the world.
Okay. And talking about the KTM as well, it's not the easiest bike over the recent years, and I have a theory about it, which I would like to tell you, and please tell me if it's correct or not, because the two most successful KTM riders are Brad Binder and Miguel Oliveira. Brad Binder basically on a KTM since Moto3, so he has the steel frame through his whole career. Miguel Oliveira the same, with the exception of the 1 year where he was on the Carlex. Before KTM entered Moto2. And my theory is that you need a lot of time to adapt to the steel frame, because I assume it's completely different, and that's the reason why a lot of people, and I predict that Jack Miller will struggle a lot on the KTM. I mean, Paul Espargaro is basically the only one who had a little bit of success on the KTM.
I think that's because of his style. He's quite aggressive, he kind of gets the most out of it, but yeah, you're completely right. I mean, those guys have the steel frame in their blood from Moto3 days, to be honest. So they know how to use it. And we get off, a really good working, bike. It's aluminium. And it's not easy for us to adapt, especially with a new bike, a new class, bigger engine, now electronics, and it's just carbon brakes, ride height devices, wings. It's just a million things. And to learn how the chassis is working and feeling in the end, that's, it's not easy. So definitely, you're 100% right.
And how would you explain to me, who obviously have never ridden a MotoGP bike, what's the difference between aluminium? I mean, you came from the Calyx with the aluminium, go to the steel frame, and now back to the Yamaha with the aluminium.
The feeling, I mean, I don't know, but the feeling that I had was the front just doesn't have as good a turn. The front is not a nicer feeling compared to the aluminium, but I don't know if it's just because of that or something else. I'm not the engineer, but that's the feeling.
So when you're pushing into the corner, you don't feel exactly where the limit is?
Yeah, it doesn't give good feeling, good feedback, and also less turn.
Okay, and that's basically the problem with the KTM, the front end.
The front, and also, pretty much the front.
Front, the rear, the whole bike.
The power, everything, mate.
I feel like the power is okay. Or?
No, on the Tech3 bike, it's not.
Is it the same? Because they say it's the same as the factory?
No, they run a few different things.
Oh, okay.
Well, they always told it was the same, but it was bullshit.
Yeah, that's what the public gets told.
Bullshit.
Okay. Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And, you don't have the weight limit in MotoGP like you have in Moto3 and Moto2. And you are, I assume, a bigger rider.
I'm a big boy, yeah.
How did that affect you?
Yeah, you could feel it a little bit, especially on straights. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
On the longer straights more than anything. but not too much. Much less in MotoGP.
Okay. And and completely different topic. I'm just running through it
because
you're right. Time constraints. Yeah. You came from the most dominant season in Moto2 in a long time. I mean, Pecco was similarly good, but I don't exactly remember how you two compare. But it was special, especially with Raul. You two were absolutely head and shoulders above everybody else. And the last time we had the podcast, you were freshly crowned world champion. So I feel like you're on cloud 7. Then you go to MotoGP, where naturally as a rookie you aren't on top, except you're Marc Marquez. But I feel like nowadays this isn't possible anymore.
No, it's not, unfortunately.
And how do you cope with this mentally? I mean, I assume your mental health went from I'm the best in the world, I'm on top of the world, everything's fine, to crashing down because the results aren't there. How do you, first of all, professionally deal with it, and then your private life?
Yeah, it was difficult. I mean, it was a tough year. Like you said, went from feeling amazing to just gradually, race by race, weekend by weekend, feeling worse and worse and worse and worse, and it was just to oblivion. And it just felt like I had no support from anybody, anybody from KTM and the team. Obviously, at home I had amazing support from my girlfriend and her family, and my manager, of course. But it was really tough, and one of the worst years in the paddock for me, that's for sure. But there's been worse places, and there's been worse times for me. But in the end, got to MotoGP, made it happen, lived out a dream that I always wanted. But I mean, in the end, everything happened. Maybe everything happened for a reason. You never know. Onto a different championship now, a different story, and maybe you look back and go and say, luckily this happened. So It was tough. It's tough to keep positive for sure in those tough times, but you've got to be professional and always keep your head high.
Yeah. So with Yamaha and now obviously in Superbike WM, are you happy that you have a little bit of more free time with the calendar?
Definitely. That's one good thing about the Superbike. It's got some free time for the dog and the girlfriend and the cars as well. So yeah, that definitely is a positive point for me.
Yeah, especially with the new calendar where the sprint races,
they're crazy.
And they're all over the world now.
It's crazy. But anyway, I'm happy.
Is there an intention for you if Yamaha came back and said, hey, I want you to ride the satellite team in MotoGP? Because I'm 100% sure that eventually, 2024, maybe 2025, Yamaha will have a satellite team as well.
Yeah.
Would you, or would you say, no, fuck that?
Yeah. Depends on the conditions, depends on the bike, depends a little bit on everything. But could be. I might not want to, might be happy in Superbikes. I'm not sure. I can't answer that right now, but you never know. Okay. You never know. I'm not saying no.
Okay. So it's not a completely closed chapter.
No, it's not.
And one big mystery, I mean, Augusto is here as well. Pedro is here. And obviously, Augusto, world champion in Moto2. You're world champion in Moto2. Pedro, rookie of the year, all within the IO team.
Yeah.
And over the last couple of years, the IO team was spectacular.
Yes.
You worked with them.
Yeah.
And then you went to Tech3, and now you have a little bit of a taste of what Yamaha is like. So what would you say, what's special about IO?
Just, I think, the way they work in the box, I think under Aki's, guidance, everybody's quite, knows their job, let's say, and everyone works correctly, knows their job, knows what to do. And there's no questions asked, and it's organized, and also you're Aki, I think, gives you the best, and you're expected to give the best as well. Okay. He's got the best people working there. He's got the best data, the best crew chief, the best everybody working together. Super, super good, but he expects you to be the best as well.
Okay. So the organization is basically the key part. Yes. That everybody, do you know Bill Belichick?
No.
No, he's a coach in the NFL, and he has this mantra, do your job.
Yeah.
Don't try to do anybody else's job, do your
job, and that's it.
Okay, and that's basically how IO runs the team. And is that a problem inside of Tech3, that there's a little bit...
everyone's
structure?
lost.
Okay.
Yeah. everyone's lost. Nobody knows what to do.
And in Yamaha, how's your feeling?
Looks good. I felt good. Back to feeling like a professional team that knows what they're doing, which is nice. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out during the race weekend, of course, but feeling's good.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to have a good team chemistry if you're successful.
That's true,
obviously.
Of course.
And I feel like that when you're in a situation where Tech3 is, when you look at the last couple of years where they had a lot of new riders coming in. I don't know how the team stayed the same, or are they
more or less the same? Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, they didn't change too much.
I feel like that's the issue as well when you don't have success.
No, yeah, and there's no changes. That's a problem. So, but anyway, that's over now. I want to forget about it.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the whole sprint racing thing, because I feel like you're how many minutes do we have left?
We got probably another 5.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
So let's run through this real quick. When you heard about the sprint races, we talked a little bit about this in Austria. You didn't know anything. Yeah. And would you support a riders' union?
Yeah, for me, yeah, I would, 100%. Formula One has one, but MotoGP doesn't. But I don't think it's ever going to happen.
I mean, the NFL has this has the Players Association where there's the Owners Association, the league, and the Players Association. If I'm getting it right, and if they want to have a major rule change, they have to all agree on this.
Yeah.
And this could work for MotoGP as well with the manufacturers, the riders, and Dorna.
Yeah, but it won't happen. Yeah, it's not going to happen. I think that all the riders are too selfish as well. Not all of them, but there's always going to be one.
But I feel like also if you're Dorna,
and Dorna's not going to let it happen.
Yeah. You don't. When you have power, you don't want to give away power. You know?
No, definitely.
So, how's your relationship developed with Raul over the season?
Okay, I mean, we were both in the same crappy situation, so it was okay. We were fine. We shared our mutual frustration, that's for sure.
Okay, so there's less competitiveness.
Yeah, definitely. But we still had our good fights, to be honest, on track. But it was okay. We raced quite clean.
Yeah, that's a little bit sad because on TV you don't see shit.
You didn't see anything. But it was quite good. We had some nice battles this year.
Yeah, I mean, Catalonia was one of the best races.
That was cool,
I've heard you saying.
Yeah.
And I feel like Dorna should have the broadcast 30 seconds delayed.
Yeah.
That you know if on front anything happens, of course, that's the most important thing, you show it. But if they're just riding in circles, that
they
you
can show something in the back.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see more of this, but
that's Dorna.
Yeah, that's Dorna.
Anyway.
And last year here you had your wrist broken on the
motocross. Yep.
Yeah, I felt so bad for you.
Yeah, it was not good. Not a good start of the year. It was kind of the start of how the year was going I think, But anyway, wrist is okay now, and no more motocross.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. You made some changes to your training, a lot of trials. So,
enduro. Lots of enduro trials and dirt track, but I went motocrossing with Pedro the other day, but just taking it easy.
I mean, Pedro broke his leg
his
as well.
femur, so it's a big no-no motocross.
Okay.
You always get hurt. Doesn't matter.
So, last thing, do you have any plans? What do you want to do if you're retire one day?
Probably build cars, or I don't know, be a father. I don't know, do something. We'll see.
Okay.
Not sure yet. Not at that point yet.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Thank you for doing this.
No worries. Sorry, it's got to be rushed.
No, I mean, it's better than nothing. And I really appreciate you.
No
I mean, that's probably the worst podcast setup in the history of podcasts.
Bad MotoGP. Yeah. There you go.
So I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you,
please, for the sake of my well-being, your well-being, don't injure yourself.
No. I need to make it to the park tonight.
Yeah. That's the most important thing. So,
awesome.
Thanks, you very much.
No worries. Thanks so much.
Best of luck.
Cheers, Leo.
See ya.
Thanks, mate.